Hello everybody, my name is AceFace. We're going to be exploring a Zealot fit for T4 Firestorm Abyss. Preferably I would like it to be as cheap as possible, but I think that there is a potential of getting a decently priced Zealot fit for T4 Abyss. This is something I started thinking about after I've been considering single rep style Zealots. They consume a lot less capacitor because you can really amp up the resist on it and still get really good tank. So I started thinking about this after that, and I think that if we are able to do T4 Firestorm Abyss, that'd be really great because it's a very cheap filament to run, and you still get really good loot from the T4s. T4s and up give really good loot. T3 and lower, really bad loot. You start seeing significant increases in your loot after T4, like the jump between T3 and T4. Oof, it's a big jump right there. So being able to do that in a very cheap filament is really good because T4 Firestorm really cheap. T4 Electric are very expensive. It's not going to be as profitable. So if we find a way to do the T4 Firestorms in a Zealot, I think it'll be very fun for Amarian powers out there, especially for our T0 to T6 Abyss series that is focusing a lot on the Zealot and Amarian skills. So the thing is, the good thing about the Firestorm is it buffs the armor, so we'll have actually a lot better like buffer. So that's a good thing. Wrecking shards won't be as big of an issue. A sort of good thing is that they reduce thermal resist, and the Zealot doesn't completely do thermal damage. There's half 50-50 at best, thermal and EM damage, but more EM usually. But it does do thermal damage, and that will increase our DPS a bit. So, I mean, we will have some DPS increase. It will be DPS decrease because of the increased armor of the enemy ships, but that's sort of something to keep in mind. We get reduced thermal damage and good armor buffer. That is beneficial for us. Bad things is, as I said before, the increased armor buffer of the enemy ships is going to make it go slower, and the thermal resist being the lowest resist type on this ship, plus Abyss usually having the very dangerous damage types are usually thermal, combined with being in the Firestorm is going to reduce thermal resist even more. So we have to be very careful when it comes to our tank, and that's my main issue. I think that the tank will be our main issue. So if we're going to go for a T4 version of this fit, I think we definitely will need to use a fit that has 2 heat sinks and not 3, because if we have 3, I don't think we'll have enough tank. So let's just go for heavy pulse laser, heavy pulse, not Apple, heavy pulse laser. See what we can get here. Large cap battery, Republic fleet. Large cap battery is always good to have. 10 MN, Tech 2, and Webifier, like the standard stuff right here. Federation Navy Stasis Webifier. Okay, medium armor repairer. Let's see now. Can we get a Corpum C type? Corpum C type is good. What's the capacitor like this? Okay, we can get 2 of these armor repairs, or we could get 1. We can start off with 1 Multispectrum armor, Multispectrum Energized membrane. The Corpum C type Multispectrum Energized membrane, 159 HP. I'm gonna also have to put. Oh, look at this. Plasma Firestorm 3 is gonna make us have so little thermal resist. That's why we need a thermal armor hardener. We'll go with B type, I think. Corpus B type. Can we go with Corpus A type? Corpus A type is 64 million. Oh, it's a bit expensive, but it is pretty good. 61% thermal resist with the Corpus A type. How much do we have with the B type? 60%. So we get 50 million for 1% extra thermal resist. I don't know if it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it, but we can reevaluate our choice later. Reactive armor hardener also really good to have. Okay, so we've got some decent resist right here. Decent resist. Auxiliary nano. Auxiliary nano pump. Nanobot accelerator. Could be an option. We get worse capacitor. Multispectrum gives us 400 HP per second. That's good. That's good, actually. Because here we've got like a decent amount of armor, like just generally speaking, HP per second. 400 is a good number to be at when you're in the T4s, I think, in my opinion. But you could have more, and you could have less. But I think that is just a generally speaking good number. Let's just do a hypothetical NPC right here. Abyssal Triglavian. 431 HP per second. I think we could survive that. Abyssal Angel, 468. Okay. Abyssal Sancha, 353. That's a bit on the low side. Overmind is alright, but we never usually have issues with Overmind. Concord, 398. Let's see now. Just these. This is a bit expensive right here. I'm wondering if we could go with Imperial Navy, but on the other hand, I do like the number we're landing at, 400 HP per second. Hard Shell Dose 1. Hard Shell 1. And then we go with Synth Exile. We go with Synth Drop for increased applicability. Synth, there's another one, Synth Mind Flood also is nice to have, but then we drop the Hard Shell, which is a bit annoying. No, I mean the Exile. It gives us a bonus to our capacitor. Where's our capacitor right now? Capacitor 11. It's only 3 gigajoules. I think the Exile is better. Synth Exile, because this gives us a bonus. The Synth Exile is really great because it just gives us a really nice boost to our armor HP per second. Okay, so we've got a capacitor a bit on the low side, heatsink, and we'll reduce this further. I don't like the look of this capacitor right here, unfortunately. Can we have a heavy pulse laser as well here? Oh gosh, we have even worse capacitor now because I wasn't even using all the hard points, and even less with conflagration. Oh my gosh, the capacitor is not good here. I feel like we might need to remove this and put a capacitor control circuit. Medium capacitor control circuit. Then we get a good capacitor. That's nice. Then now we would want to have better tank. What can we do for better tank here? We need like some more HP per second. This is still not good. What if we reduce this and put a Corpum C-type? Maybe power grid issues here. Maybe medium armor repairer. Can we get a medium armor repair that is able to fit Corellum C-type maybe? Power grid really is problematic here. So we wouldn't want to do this. And the capacitor is okay, the power capacitor is decent, but we're not able to fit it, and that's the biggest issue. We're not able to fit it. It would be really nice if we were to somehow fit this, but we can't. I wonder if we could put a diagnostic system here. Power diagnostic system. Because that gives us capacitor and power grid, which are two things we really need. Oh, just about. Just about. Because then we can maybe ditch this. Oh, that capacitor control circuit is really good, though, in terms of capacitor. Otherwise, you can maybe put something like this, but no, I think it would not be a good idea to do it like this. Capacitor control circuit would be good to have here. Single rep. Multispectrum energized membrane. Membrane. Okay. Corpum B-type. Very expensive though. And hardly not much tank increase either. I thought I had Corpum C-type. 311. Why have we got less tank than we had before? Auxiliary nano pump. Maybe it's not active? Why is the tank lower here than we had before? Oh, we've got Corellum, that's why. Medium armor repairer. Let's see if we have Corpum A-type medium armor repair. Then, okay, then armor repair is good, but it's not like a really good price or a module we want to, or not like a module we want to spend a whole lot of. ISCON. Okay, Corellum B-type. What about Corellum A-type? 249 and power grid overloaded. Capacity is decent because it uses actually less capacitor, I think, than the other equivalents. Thermal armor reinforcer, maybe. Perhaps. This auxiliary nano pump right here is causing a bit of problems. This is getting now to become a pretty pricey fit, so this is not looking too good, actually. Not looking too good. What could you do here? What could you do here to solve the issue? Tank and capacitor, really, they can't get them. I can't get them to be good. Implants can solve the problem. Thucker large cap battery. Okay, if we have 2 auxiliary nanopumps here, Thucker gives us more power grid. And then if we downgrade this to maybe Corpum B type, medium arm repair, 249. 173, okay. We get more tank like this, okay. What about Corpum C type? Medium arm repair. Okay, now it's a good tank, but it's because we removed the nanobot accelerator before for an auxiliary nanopump over here. So this is a way we could bypass the cap issues, I guess, by replacing it, because now the main thing is that we've not got the capacitor control circuit here. So I'm wondering if we could have Mind Flood. Synth Mind Flood instead of Synth Exile. Because the Synth Exile is very powerful. Very, very powerful. Corpum C type. What about Corpum B type? Because you see the price of ship is getting very high. I wouldn't like to spend this price. Now I can actually put the Republic Fleet large cap battery here. Without this, we have 27 gigajoules. I worry about newts. I worry a lot about newts here, because the issue is that the neuters are going to cause us a lot of problems. Because, I mean, if we're neutered out, it's really game over. There's nothing we can do, because our weapons rely completely on capacitor. So I'm not too comfortable using this in the Abyss. I would be comfortable if I had a capacitor control circuit here. This I would like. Tank is not good though. What could we do? What could we do? A Corpum B type could give us okay tank, but still I would like to have more tank than this. I would like to have more tank than this. Asclepion maybe? How much are low grade Asclepions? This is pretty cheap right here. Okay, with these 3 Asclepions right here, we are able to get somewhat decent tank, but it's not like it's an implantless ship, and these are still a significant price increase. Plus, we're using boosters and everything. We could just try this. We could just try this with the dual auxiliary nanopumps and just see how it goes. The capacitor is not great, but we might be able to just about get by. Might be able to just about get by. We'll try this. We'll try this. I think this will be a good fit to try. 250 save fittings. That's really annoying when that happens. Okay, so we've got this fit right here. T4 Fire. Buy this. It's not as expensive as it said in PIF. Okay, now it's expensive. Yeah, so it was the same price as PIF. It's just here. They're trying to trick me here. And I guess we could always use Asclepions if we really wanted to buff it up. With the capacitor control circuit, you know. Can buy this. Multi-fit. Call this Zappy. And we get some ammunition as well. Scorch. We should have some ammunition right here. Just add the right ammunition because we need drones and everything. Buy the ammo. And we can get the boosters. Hard shell. Dose 1. Exile. Exile. Synth exile. Okay, let's go and get to work. Alright, let's undock right here. Perimeter. And swap out our clone over there. $714 DPS with Conflag. 714 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 DPS with Conflag. Okay, clone swapped. Let's go. I'm sure you could do the T4 Firestorms if you bling enough. You get like Asclepions, you can get A-type armor pairs, better Hardeners, that kind of stuff. And that could be profitable, but I mean, I feel like if you're gonna spend multi-billions on ships, you could probably invest in a T5 capable ship, or even T6. Let's quickly organize the drones right here. Actually, I shouldn't be using these drones because they're not optimal for this type of filament. So we'll actually have to go with Hobgoblins. Dock up here, get 10 of these. Okay, now we're here. We'll enter the abyss. I hope we will not get popped straight away. We'll definitely need those exile boosters. Let's get to work. Got the drones here. Got this ambient sound loop going on. There's always problems with sound loops in EVE. Can deploy drones, entanglement, and null charge. This is probably stuff we want to take care of first. Where's our range? 39, 33. Got pretty decent buffer now in the Firestorm, 26k. A really great thing about using armor-based ships here. The buffer in a way sort of helps because even though it's not crazy buffer, it still takes a bit of time for the NPCs to get through it, even if you are not fully tanking the incoming DPS. But I think right now we will be. Okay, now I want to go for Conflag. Popped. Oh, we do a bit more damage with the Hobgoblins. Only a bit more, but it's still something. Only thing is that is quite bad about Hobgoblins is that they're very weak drones. They die very quickly. They've got very low HP in general. They've got majority of the HP in their structure, and just generally speaking, they have their total HP is not particularly high. Get the loot right here. Popped. Get some big reps right there. With the dual auxiliary nano pumps, that's sort of what you get. Nice, raging gamma. Good T4 filament. Oh, look, this is what I'm saying. You see the drones, they just get annihilated so quickly. Hobgoblins are not particularly strong. DPS 2 and DPS 1 grouping. And go to this Charybdis. Charybdis Tyrannos. Can take him out pretty quickly because I've got good heavy assault cruiser skills. So I've got a lot more DPS than I usually would in the T0 to T6 Abyss series. Also a bit better range too. Should be using web. We're using Webifier. I'll lock up Charybdis over there. Now we're actually getting quite a low capacitor. We've got neuters. Just one neuter is enough to get our capacitor quite low. Go towards Charybdis. Stop armor repairing for a bit. Now my drones fly towards Charybdis. And we can shoot them in the meantime. Or the Scylla in the meantime. And we can start armor repairing now that our armor is getting to a low level. Ooh, see that? Getting a bit of damage. I think they might be flying out into the abyssal depths or something. I'm quite curious what is going on with their shield HP because I don't see any deep automatic suppressor anywhere. Taking out the last drifter cruiser. Now it's time to take out Charybdis. Now it's hard to have time missions in T4 because T4 is quite a bit easier than T5 and T6. There's not a whole lot of NPCs there. And we're not going to be particularly fast because we are in a pretty low DPS ship with only 2 damage modules. We are in T4 Firestorm, which buffs the armor of the enemy ships. So it is going to take a bit of time to complete this. And keep range 10 kilometers like that. We tank really good right here. That's good to see. We tank good, capacity is bad. We just have to be very wary of newts, I guess. We can make our way towards the transfer conduit now. You can see he's going into low HP. We're at 5-minute mark. It's decent time. It's not like we're going to have problems completing it in this kind of speed, especially since we are at we are in a 50% thermal resist for filament as well. which is a bit on the low side. So it'll go naturally a bit slow, and still we're completing the one room in 5 minutes. Okay, now over 5 minutes is a bit annoying, but almost 5 minutes. We can go to the next room, see what we have here. Overall, got pretty sick resists actually. Look at these resists. 80% across the board. Not so much armor HP per second, but just the resists make it so much more powerful. Next room. Let's see what we've got here. Ephialtes. Should be pretty easy. Can snipe some of these frigates on the way here. Take out that Firewatch over there. And unload the drones. It's very typical. I happen to be shooting the one frigate that is the furthest away from every single other one. So I can't use close range ammo. Okay, let's go to the bioadaptive cache. Popped. Warden. Take him out. Dissipators here. Should also take them out because of neuting. Be careful of neuters. Come on. Get some tracking. Get some tracking. There we go. Dissipator. Conflag. Just want to be a little bit careful with not getting neutered out. But it should be alright. Oh, Hobgoblin. No. Hobbies. My Hobgoblins. We can stop using our armor repair for a bit because we just got such a big buff. We can just let them chew through it a bit. Have a bit of fun with that. And blast this Aegis. He's trying to act all smug and get real close and smug. Now we can use our armor repair. Just keep an eye on the drones, that's the only thing. Take out this other dissipator over here. That's very smooth, very smooth. I like Ephialtes because in the Zealot, they all keep close into conflag range, so you never have to worry about having to get in range of conflag. It's all in perfect conflag range. They follow you throughout the whole site. You just go to the loot cache and just blast away, really. That's all it is. 7 mil. Where's our total loot right here? 26 million because of the Raging Gamma really buffing it up. And keep it range 2.5 kilometers. Now I'll go with Imperial Navy Multifrequency just because of better tracking. And we can keep range maybe 15. Just to try to improve transversal a bit. I'll try taking out anything that tries to go for our drones. Keep it range 15. Get some slight grazing shots. This one over here seems to be wanting to go for our drone, so we'll go for him. Keep a range 15. Oh no! Hobgoblins! They really die so quick. This is what I'm talking about. They have so weak HP. Just destroy the last escort. And we're at almost 5-minute average per room. A good average to be at in these slightly higher tiers. Especially when we're in a not so heavy DPS fit, plus the Firestorm, which generally speaking takes a bit longer time. But I like Gilas because they're just so reliable. They have their drones do damage all the time. But it does take a bit of time for their drones to travel, so they do take a bit longer in terms of getting to stuff that is very close to you, or getting to stuff that would otherwise be in range of like conflag. Because then you just start shooting, but you won't have to manually travel to get into conflagration range. Which drones are not as beaten up? These ones don't seem to be as beaten up, I think. Conflag. They're pretty far away, keeping at 16-kilometer range like the little scrub he is. We'll go for Redeemers afterwards. He's getting a lot of remote reps. Look at those remote reps. That guy really getting Logibroed. Carried. Oh no, Hobgoblins. No, not again. Okay, this guy is going down. Oh, a drone was taken out. And that's the issue with the Zealous drones. Just unbonus light drones is just asking to get killed. Especially when it comes to Hobgoblins. They're just so weak drones. Now we can get this other set over here. Triglavians we should tank them really well. Shouldn't there be any issue. Just need to be very careful with how we use our drones. Need to observe them very tightly. We need to observe them very closely. The Scorch is in perfect range right now. I think we might start taking damage soon because there's a yellow box and it's renewing Rodiva over here. All wanted to keep range and stay far away. I think they're all trying to remote wrap each other, and Hobgoblin, no! Hobgoblin, please. Oh, they just die so quickly. It's just so sad using drones in the Firestorms. Just asking to get killed. Just they're so weak. If we use Vespers, like, oh, Vespers are so awesome drones. Have really big shields, and plus the shields regenerate. Like the perfect type of drone for long-term engagements. Come on now, take out this Kiki. Get in range of... Oh, never mind. He doesn't want to get in range, so I'll have to get a bit closer. I would want to get into web range. I'm not able to do that. Oh, we lost the Hobgoblin again. We've lost so many drones. They just start attacking them, they die straight away. Unfortunate. Keep range 10 kilometers. Burst the Origin Conduit. Good. I wouldn't even really need to use armor repair this much. But we tanked really well here. It was a bit annoying with the drones, but that's not really a big issue. We can always be a bit more vigilant in terms of using our drones. Time is a bit slow, but it's still manageable. Especially when we're in the minus 50%. I think it was alright. I think we definitely can encounter more difficult waves. Maybe in terms of tank, but especially in terms of neuting. We didn't have very neut hard waves here. We could have more neut hard waves, and I could see putting pressure on this ship right here. But we naturally have a very good tank. I think if we're smart in managing our Corpum C-type medium armor pair, then we could save or preserve cap. We could preserve cap in that regard. So I think there is potential of getting a not too expensive T4 Firestorm Zealot if you've got good skills. It's a bit difficult, a bit rough. I'd prefer to use a Vagabond that's a lot cheaper. I'd prefer to use a Gila as well that is a bit cheaper than this fit and is a bit easier, I feel. But it's just the way it is. I think it's pretty smooth. It feels pretty good. And I really like using this ship in general. It just feels good using something different than a Gila. And also just the pulse lasers in certain waves, like Ephialtes waves, can feel really smooth because you're just going through so many targets, not having to wait for your drones to travel like a Gila. It feels really nice. Repair everything, heal the casualties of drones. Sad drones. But there we go, T4 Firestorm Zealot. It was alright. It could be better, but it was alright. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.